In this room, one small mistake can condemn an entire day's production. After cooking, the real battle begins, protecting what's ready to eat.
That single fail has a reason, and it's the most expensive rule in the factory.
Raw meat enters cold and controlled, where safety begins before flavor. Every step forward passes through a wall of hygiene.
Steel teeth reduce raw cuts into a controlled base.
Recipes are measured like engineering because consistency is the product.
Cold ice, salt, and spice built into the mix to protect texture and time.
Speed and cold turn rough grind into a uniform emulsion.
Pressure replaces hands, moving food with repeatable force. The casing becomes a mold, shaping every link to the same standard. Portions lock into place, uniformity at production speed.
Now heat will do what time cannot. Set the structure.
Air dries the skin, so smoke and heat can work evenly.
Smoke writes its signature, color, aroma, and tradition in one pass.
The inside must reach the mark. Food safety is not negotiable.
Heat ends fast because cooling is part of cooking safely. Cooling locks texture, preparing the line for the next machine. What shaped the product is removed, leaving only the finished frank.
Sensors guard the line, catching what eyes can't see.
From heat and smoke to clean light, now the factory counts, seals, and ships.
The product stays moving because time and temperature never pause.
Buffers prevent stoppages, protecting product and machines together. Weight control is logistics in miniature, measured in grams and seconds.
Packaging begins as a moving sheet. Precision starts here.
Heat reshapes plastic so it can protect what's inside.
Every cavity is a destination, built before the product arrives.
Motion stays synchronized, so speed never becomes chaos. Air is removed because oxygen shortens shelf life. A seal is a promise, made in heat and pressure.
The line turns a continuous stream into counted units.
Traceability travels with every pack, quietly, permanently.
Packaging scales up, unit to carton, carton to pallet. Cartons lock the cold chain into manageable blocks.
The dock is a boundary between production and distribution.
Logistics takes shape in pallets, stable, countable, shippable.
Temperature is a route, not a setting, maintained by design.
Storage isn't waiting, it's controlled positioning for the next move.
When the door opens, the chain continues, cold, fast, and traceable. Outside, the cold chain meets the world, one dock door at a time.
Seals and shelters protect temperature like a second skin.
Doors open inward to cold, so heat stays out. The bridge must be stable, because every vibration risks damage.
A scan is proof, linking product, time, and place.
A factory is a system, built as much for control as for speed.
Access is managed, because food plants can't be open to chance.
Every entry leaves a record. Traceability starts at the gate. The building doesn't invite you in. You earn your way inside. Inside, the facility divides space, so contamination can't travel.
Gowning is choreography. Each step reduces risk you can't see.
Clean hands aren't a moment. They're a maintained condition.
Air moves with purpose, so particles don't move freely.
Back on the floor, the line waits, already moving, already alive.
In factories, direction is designed, so product never loses its path.
Safety lines on the floor are as real as walls.
One building, two worlds, connected by controlled openings.
Every shift returns to cleaning, because the next batch starts now.
Cleaning starts with control, chemical, contact time, and coverage.
Rinse clears the surface, so foam can work where it matters.
Foam reveals the hidden geometry of a line. Every seam gets attention.
Machines don't fail first. Small, neglected corners do.
Drains get cleaned with intent, because flow always carries the story downhill.
Rinse and inspect, because clean must be visible before it can be sanitary.
Sanitizing comes after cleaning. 2 steps, 2 purposes.
Before product returns, surfaces must pass the eye test.
Startup is inspection in motion, listening for problems before food arrives.
Clean tools stay controlled, so the process stays controlled.
Air patterns matter, because contamination follows currents. After cooking, protection tightens, because this is the final exposure.
Restart begins small, so defects don't scale into thousands. Documentation is part of the machine, proof that the work was done. Clean, verified, moving. Production resumes like a heartbeat. With the line stable, the factory turns back to transformation again.
The next batch starts where texture is engineered. Cold, fast, exact.
Cold isn't comfort, it's process control for fat and protein.
The first cut sets the foundation. Particle size becomes destiny. Ingredients enter by order, because sequence affects bind and bite.
Chemistry is quiet here. Salt and helpers building structure before heat.
Ice buys time, keeping the emulsion stable while speed rises.
Control is measured. Numbers first, assumptions never.
Now the real refinement begins, where grind becomes emulsion.
The lean phase builds the base. Protein first, fat later.
When fat meets a stable base, the bite becomes clean and even. Uniform diameter is the first promise of uniform cooking.
Identity travels with the batch, so every rack can be answered for.
Seconds of verification save hours of waste.
Thermal processing is scheduled like air traffic. No collisions, no delays. The rack enters the chamber, where heat turns mixture into food. Once the door seals, the chamber becomes a controlled climate. Airflow is the invisible conveyor that cooks everything evenly.
Warm-up sets color and prepares the surface for what comes next.
Drying builds the skin, the snap people remember.
In seconds, the surface changes, evidence of controlled exposure. Humidity is tuned, so color and flavor stay uniform across the load. Here, time and temperature do the safety work, precisely recorded.
Verification is the moment the batch becomes ready to eat.
When cooking ends, cooling must start immediately.
Showering stops the cook, protecting texture and preventing fat break.
Cooling is a race against time, won by airflow and design.
The curve must fall on schedule, because bacteria grow when cooling fails.
Cooling ends at the door. Then post-cook protection begins again.
The casing did its job in heat. Now it exits to reveal the frank.
Uniform color tells a story. Smoke, heat, and airflow aligned.
Final safeguards stand watch. Silent, constant, essential. Automation begins with seeing. Machines watching every unit at speed. One selection loads a world. Set points, alarms, and traceability fields. Data is the second product, recorded continuously to protect the first.
Codes are verified in milliseconds because retailers and regulators read them later.
A good seal is invisible until a camera proves it's real. Rejects are automatic, so mistakes don't become shipments.
Every exception leaves a trail, so investigation is faster than rumor.
Counting is automated because speed demands perfect repetition.
Secondary packaging locks units into logistics-ready form.
Flow control prevents jams, the hidden enemy of uptime. The robot stacks with no fatigue, layer after layer, shift after shift. Even paper becomes engineered. Stability is designed, not hoped for. Wrap turns stacked cartons into a single shipping unit. A label makes the pallet legible to humans and systems alike.
Traceability isn't paperwork. It's live synchronization across the plant.
Uptime is maintained, small adjustments preventing big stops.
Automation doesn't end at machines. It extends into how the building moves product.
Past speed comes precision, where tine errors are removed before shipping.
Precision starts with isolation. One pack, one reading, no excuses.
Net weight compliance protects trust, quietly enforced at full speed.
Projection is built in, so the line never argues with the standard.
Inspection doesn't just catch errors, it tunes the process that makes them.
Another layer of certainty, looking through packaging without opening it.
X-ray doesn't guess. It detects what metal detectors can't.
Most packs pass because prevention upstream makes inspection downstream calm. Integrity is proven under pressure, just like transport will test it. Precision isn't one machine, it's a chain of confirmations.
Errors caught here never become customer complaints later. Load stability is engineered, corners protected before the wrap bites. The base is the anchor. Without it, everything above is risk. A clean tail means the pallet won't unravel on the road.
One sticker, one scan. Proof the pallet is ready for cold storage.
Precision ends where preservation begins. Inside, controlled cold. The last finishing touch is placement, stored like inventory, handled like evidence.
Location becomes data, so retrieval is instant and accountable.
Now the product faces its final judge. Measurement, not opinion.
Quality starts with a sample, small, controlled, and representative.
In the lab, handling is procedure, because data is only as clean as collection.
Traceability continues here. Evidence management for food.
Instruments must be right before results can mean anything.
Verification proves the guardrails work before real product relies on them.
Calibration is discipline, repeated until it becomes culture.
A seal must survive the journey, cold rooms, trucks, and time.
Chemistry tells the hidden story: stability, shelf life, and risk.
Specs aren't opinions. They're boundaries that keep quality consistent.
Microtesting is patience, proof that cleanliness held after cooking.
Some answers take time, but the process keeps moving.
HACCP lives in records, verification that control was real, not assumed.
Release is earned after checks, after proof, after discipline.
With release, inventory becomes shipment, ready for the final phase.
Dispatch is scheduled because cold space is valuable space. Now the factory's work leaves the building without leaving control behind. The last chapter is movement, sealed, labeled, and on schedule. From lab approval to dock reality, the product enters distribution's hands. Dispatch is choreography, built to keep cold air in and warm air out.
Staging near the dock speeds loading because doors should stay open for seconds, not minutes.
A secure trailer is a safe dock before a single pallet moves. The bridge must be solid because momentum is unforgiving.
Temperature is verified before loading. Control first, movement second.
Release turns inventory into cargo, still traceable, still protected. Loads are built tight. Stability is safer than space.
Cold must circulate. Blocked airflow becomes warm spots on the road.
Securement is silent insurance against braking, turning, and rough miles. Once sealed, the trailer becomes a moving cold room.
Paperwork is the final handshake between factory and freight.
With documents handed over, responsibility shifts, but standards remain.
The product leaves under refrigeration, its conditions preserved in transit.
Not all product ships at once. Storage keeps readiness without losing control.
This is the end of the line. Finished goods, stabilized for the world. Finished product stands ready, built from process, not luck. Storage preserves the work until the schedule calls it forward.
The last lift is the final promise, cold maintained to the destination.
And this is how modern factories produce hot dogs from start to finish.
The system keeps moving, one controlled batch at a time.